Welcome to Verbal Peak Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are every day. People like to welcome you out to the show. I know you all are aware of the terrible mass shooting that took place in Buffalo, New York. 10 people killed, 13 wounded. A retired police officer was working security, shot the suspect, 18-year-old white guy, but didn't kill him because he had full body armor on. 2 of the officers were able to coax him to lay down his weapon, which lets us know that there are measures in place to where you can talk a person out of harming themselves and others if they have a weapon on them at the time the police arrive. But if it had been a young black man, he'd be dead. We don't get the opportunity to be talked to. Black man with a gun close by him, black man reaching for a gun. This white guy had a gun in his hand and was able to get arrested. Now he's going to be on a taxpayer's dime, spending the rest of his life in jail, eating 3 meals a day, when they could have just killed him right on the spot. He was armed and he was dangerous. Black folks be unarmed and get killed. Black folks run away from the police officers and get shot in the back, and you call this justice. Now, why did he pick the grocery store? Right? Because predominantly his victims were black females. Well, the reason why he picked the grocery store is because he knew that there'd be women there, and he knows that women are our future. They give birth to our children. Eliminate the women and it slows down our birth rate, because he was upset. The white guy, 18-year-old, was saying that black people are taking over. Why? Because we are populating them and their population is depleting. So they want to even things out. So we've been at war. Now, the narrative that these politicians give you, do not listen to them. They will jack you up. They will have you all confused. No, we are all not the same. We are all not God's children. You got some that want to kill you just because you're black. And it doesn't matter the shade of black. You can be lightest to the lightest or darkest to the darkest. It don't matter. The color thing only matters in the black community, which means nothing because we don't even control our own community. So if you hang your hat on the fact that you light skin, that means something only in the black community, you have sand, Django. You have nothing. That only it means nothing, and it gives you nothing. You can't walk into the bank and say, "Hey, look how light I am. Give me a loan." Don't work. You can't walk in the bank and say, "Hey, look how dark I am. Can I get a loan?" It don't work. For me, unity is the only thing that will work. But they got so many different obstacles in the way of us unifying till it's ridiculous. But I want to play something for you guys. Y'all check this out. I want to zoom in to the screen here so you all can see. Let you hear what's going on. And I'll inject in a minute right here on Verbal Pick Radio. Check this out.
As a beautiful day in the city of Buffalo has turned into a terrible day and one of tremendous heartbreak for every member of our community. We have suffered a mass shooting with multiple casualties and several people injured. This is the worst nightmare that any community can face, and we are hurting and we are seething right now as a community. The depth of pain that families are feeling and that all of us are feeling right now cannot even be explained. Some of us had the opportunity to provide comfort to some of the families, but needless to say, there is no comfort at this time. We are pleased that a shooter is in custody. The person responsible for the tragic events of today is in custody. You will get more details in a moment. I want to thank all of the law enforcement agencies at the federal, state, county, and city level, all of the agencies that have responded.
Bam, let's stop right there. Let me break this down to you. I'm going to zoom out for a minute. Let me explain something to you guys for a minute. Right. That's called controlling the narrative, right? Because the truth of the matter is, you had Dylann Roof goes into a church, prays with the black church members, then kills them. How did a white guy go into an all-black church and nobody was suspicious? That's that white Jesus. That's that kumbaya. That's that fairy tale. Nobody checked him. Nobody saw him as a threat. That's that black politician around voting time who will stroll their white candidates into the church to get you to vote for them, and everybody tell you you have to be on your best behavior. You smiling and laughing as if you got a friend. Right? No. The solution is you. You have to make sure you are safe and protected in your community, not the law enforcement. You think you think all the white men on the law enforcement gives a damn about what just took place, even though he got to come out in front of the cameras and make certain statements. Some of them don't give a shit of what took place in Buffalo. But he's still alive. They didn't kill him. They didn't shoot him in the head. The brother who the security, the retired police officer who was a security guard that shot him, he aimed for the head. He was hitting body blows. You got to chop the head off the snake. You know, that's just what it is. We have to teach our women how to shoot. You got to take them to the fire range. Get your concealed handgun license and protect yourself, because they're coming after a vulnerable population where the men is at home or at work. The women are in the supermarket shopping, and he shows up there, right? Pick a weaker target, right? And so now we got to make women just as strong. Learn how to shoot. And the reason why you go to the range is the more you practice shooting that weapon, the less hesitant you will be. If you see a white face coming to attack you, you squeeze off rounds in his ass like it's no tomorrow. To let him know, don't come around here playing with you and the lives of your children. You got to make it home. So it's not about law enforcement. It's about you doing what you can to protect and preserve your life. That's what they should be telling you, because racism is on the rise. Black people are being attacked all over this country. Now, Al Sharpton said that it's not just about black. It's about, what do you say? It's about Latinos. It's about LGBTQ. It's about Asians. But what he failed to realize is, look, Al, and I know you meant well, but it is the black population culture. The Asian population culture is different. What the Asians do after the attacks on their community, they start setting up free self-defense classes, showing them how to defend themselves. Some was giving weapons away. It's hard for us to think like that when you've been taught for 400 years that we all the same. Kumbaya, amazing grace. One day, little black boy and little white girl gonna hold hands. That's in your subconscious because you lead with that. While the racists who want to kill you, they play on that. Their smile, come into your community, smile, and soon and when you see that smile, for some reason, you let your guard down. That's when they start shooting. How did he come with it? On his rifle, he had nigger killer. He came in the store and said he was there to kill all niggas. He ain't say I'm here to kill the lightest of the light skinned niggas. I'm here to kill the brown skinned niggas. I'm here to kill the darker brown skinned niggas. He said he was just there to kill anything with melanin. And it didn't matter. Right? And he opened fire. But to be aware, when you see a white person coming into your community, you don't go out. You don't be like, hey, how you doing? You okay? Yeah, really? What you doing here? You know somebody here? You here to see? You see, because this is a black area. We protect our own. They know that what was taught to us during slavery make us docile, and they know that some of these organizations continue to teach that same ideology to pass that docile nature down for generations to generation to generation. They already know this. They are playing chess. Black folks, we still playing checkers. We still trying to unite. We still trying to buy up land and protect our community. We still trying to hold on to grandma's house. That's the checker game. It's time to play the chess game. It's time to stand up and be counted. Not just be counted as in numbers, but be counted to protect and serve your people in your community. Because they are preying on us, taking us out. Yes, you had incidents in El Paso where a white supremacist said he was there to kill our Mexicans and shot the Mexicans up. But when there's incidents like this and we march and protest, now you will see a lot of black folks fighting for the rights of everybody. But you don't see everybody joining in with black people to fight for what we've been a victim to. Matter of fact, some races join on with white people and looking at black people as the enemy. So black people, it's and it's a good thing though. And the reason why it's a good thing is because it put the ball solely in our court. That way we can make the best decisions possible for our lives. We can plan and strategize, and we can create our own narrative, and we don't have to worry about other people creating a narrative for us. All right? This dude drove 3 hours, over 200 miles, to find a black area where predominantly women would be at, and he went in there and lit it up, killed 10. Without the women, black men, we have no future. And we can't rely on law enforcement and different agencies to be our savior. Men protect their community. Men protect their community. We don't need outsiders protecting our community. We should be suspicious time one even drive down the street. Folks should be on alert. Hey, I seen a white guy driving down the street in our neighborhood. That's odd. He got on like camouflage gear. Another car going through. Hey, he just pulled up in the parking lot at the Tops grocery store. Now black men and black people in the community, they start driving up there seeing what's going on. He in the parking lot shot 3. They should have opened fire. He should have never made it in that store. They should have opened fire and tore his ass up. But unfortunately, we still have this old slave mentality. You know, Willie Lynch was taught to us during slavery. The painting Jesus white was done on purpose. The teaching to turn the other cheek was done on purpose. And you got gatekeepers that want to keep that knowledge flowing through the community in some of these organizations. But yet at the same time, we're the ones suffering. It don't make any sense to me. But hold on, we want to get a little bit more on what they're saying on this horrific incident. Y'all just hold on for a second. Hold on. I'm gonna fast forward just a bit.
County Executive Mark Poloncarz, Erie County Executive, Congressman Brian Higgins, Council President, Buffalo City Council President Darius Pridgeon, Erie County Legislature Chairwoman April Baskin, Erie County Legislature.
10 deceased at the scene and 3 sustained non-life-threatening injury. Hours away, drove to.
This is a day of great. Buffalo Police Commissioner Joseph Gramaglia.
Now watch what the police. Watch what he's not saying.
Approximately 2:30 today, an individual who the mayor stated is not from this area and is from hours away, drove to Buffalo, went to 1275 Jefferson Avenue to the Tops Market. He exited his vehicle. He was very heavily armed. He had tactical gear. He had a tactical helmet on. He had a camera that he was live streaming what he was doing. The individual exited his car and engaged 4 individuals. He shot 4 people in the parking lot.
4 in the
3
parking
of those were deceased. 1 individual at this time was surviving the injury. The individual went inside. As I said, he was an 18-year-old white male, walked into the store and began engaging customers inside the store. One of the individuals inside the store is a security guard, a beloved security guard, who is a retired Buffalo police officer, a hero in our eyes, engaged the suspect, fired multiple shots, struck the suspect, but because he had heavily armored plating on, that bullet had no round. The suspect engaged our retired officer, and he was ultimately shot and deceased at the scene. He
Shoot him in the head.
Store. Ultimately, he worked his way back towards the front of the store. Buffalo police immediately respond, engage the suspect in the vestibule of the store, and at that point the suspect put the gun to his own neck. Buffalo police personnel, 2 patrol officers, talked the suspect into dropping the gun. He dropped the gun, took off some of his tactical gear, surrendered at that point, and he was led outside, put in a police car and transported to Buffalo Police Headquarters. So as we said, a total of 13 people were shot today, 10 deceased at the scene, and 3 sustained non-life-threatening injuries. It appears to be non-life-threatening injuries at that point. 4 in total were store employees. One of those was the security guard who has worked at that location for a very long time. Many officers are on scene here, knew him quite well, and the rest of the victims are customers of the store. As the mayor said, this tragic incident by someone who is not a part of our community, does not live here. We'll let some of the other agencies get into the information that's been posted online, and I will turn this over at this point first to our Erie County Sheriff John Garcia.
See, let me tell you what they're not saying, right? They're not saying, hey, look, black people, look, we can't control someone coming in from out of town into the community hell bent on killing black people. They can't do nothing about that. Only you can. Only we can. If someone wants to travel from wherever, they can Google map it, black zip codes, Google map it, find out what's the most store that the blacks like going to get their groceries or whatever. Which one got the most women? Oh, Tops Market. Well, I'll drive there and commit my crime and start killing. But the police can't do anything about that. Right? See, they don't, what they're not saying is teaching the importance of community policing. How you protect the neighborhood in which you live in. Why it is even important to protect and value the neighborhood you live in. Right? How to make your neighborhood valuable. And I'll tell you, they're not going to tell you any of that. No, they're not going to tell you that, hey, look, they're not going to say, they're not going to come on the media and say, hey, look, we don't know what's going on until we get a call. Once we get a call, then we respond. Sometimes in between all of that, it may be too late. Right? They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to say anything of the sort. You have to know, hey, look, we got to come up with a plan on how to protect our community. We got to find out the exits, how you get into the community, so and so, because it don't take much for another deranged white boy, hell bent on saving his race, right, to go get an assault rifle, drive to an all-black area and start shooting. By the time he committed the crime and the police get there, they gonna do him just like Dylann Roof, take him to get a hamburger and raise money for his defense. While black people, we sit back and say, oh man, that's wrong. How could they do that? Oh, that's BS. You know, hell, if he would have been a black person, they'd have killed him on the spot. We all know that. They know that. All right. But the question is, how are we going to unite and protect ourselves? How much training do we need to go through? How do you get the people mindset to align with a mindset of freedom and doing everything it takes to be free? How many people can we get to think along those lines and to actually be about it? You know, jewelry is nothing. Jordans, shoes, that's just things that you acquire in life. There's no whatever. But that don't make you who you are. You know, that's not the end all. Because you got some nice sneakers on. Those are just additives. The most important thing is that you read. You have your mind sharp. You study how to counter an attack. You have to be prepared. This thing is real. You know how many people are connected to those 10 people who got killed? You know how many children are connected to those? They got family members from all over the nation. So you have to honor those women that died, and you also have to realize that they have family members. This thing is touching so many people across the nation. So the question is, when will we do something about it? Because they're not going to change. Verbal Prick Radio. We're out.